Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked John Olav Ainamo to defeat Dave Herman. And I'm here to talk about Claudio Ribeiro versus Roman Kopylov. Claudio is 31 years old, 11-3 as a pro, and he's got 1 inch of height and 2 inches of reach over 32-year-old Kopylov, who is 10-2 as a pro. Ribeiro, he has 11 wins, 11 of them by TKO or knockout. Last of which came against Joseph Holmes, which was very impressive in that he won by taking the guy down, and that was what I thought he would be avoiding at all costs in that fight. And he showed a few new wrinkles. But the result's the same. He's got 11 wins. They all come via knockout or TKO. He's a very violent son of a bitch. Typically gets it done earlier, but he's gotten it done later as well. Even won in round 5 against this guy, Kellish Albuquerque. And his 3 losses come 1-1-1. One knockout very early in round 2 to Abdul Razak Al Hassan. That was 2 fights ago for him. He was submitted in his debut with a guillotine choke to a guy that should have beaten him. He had a 14-5 record, solid regional fighter. And he lost a split decision to this guy, Kevin Felipe. Very close fight, could have gone either way, but you could certainly argue he was out-hustled. But Ribeiro, like in that fight and in his 5-rounder fight, he's shown a good amount of patience. He's somebody who I think doesn't trust his cardio, and even though, again, he won in round 5 once. But he's built so well, and he's got a lot of muscles to feed, and he hits very hard, and I just don't think he's a guy that can sustain throwing down like a guy like Roman Kopylov can. But Ribeiro, whatever works for him, works for him. He could be one of those guys like Yoel Romero trying to manage his energy, and he's better off doing so. Who knows? Roman Kopylov, he's 10-2. He's got 9 wins via knockout, just 1 decision. Very similar type of fighter, obviously. Great striker. He's got 2 losses, 1 via submission, 1 via decision, both in the UFC. Carl Roberson got him out of there with a rear naked choke in round 3. And that was, Carl Roberson is just a very unique fighter. Not really great, but vulnerable everywhere, but also really good in kickboxing and had a good bit of grappling as well. Carl Roberson. He was dangerous in a lot of ways, even though he's vulnerable in a lot of ways. And he ended up getting Kopylov out of there with a rear naked choke in round 3, and that was after I thought he was winning the leg kicking battle, Carl Roberson. Albert Duraev beat him by decision, and that was a fight in which Duraev, I thought, was doing very well in the stand-up battle early on, and then ripped him to the mat and had a lot of success. I mean, beat the shit out of him, almost got him out of there. It was a 10-8 round, and then Kopylov was the last man standing. He came out in round 3 and was fighting much harder than Duraev, and clearly won the round. And even though it was nowhere near enough to get him the victory, it was still very fucking impressive. And that's the thing with Kopylov. He's got good cardio, really good cardio, and he gets better as the fight goes on. He's got 9 finishes. I wish I broke down how they were, but I know I've seen a good amount of them. Knockouts in round 4, round 3, multiple finishes in round 3, multiple in round 2, and I think at least 2 in round 4, even though one was a doctor stoppage, and the other one he took out this very durable guy, the hell's Yasablay or something, Enomoto. Enomoto's his last name though, but the guy's a very durable fighter, and Kopylov got him out of there. And he got him out of there the way he gets a lot of guys out of there, with body shots. Hit the guy with a straight right to the body. He has really good diverse striking, incredible body shots, and body kicks as well. Mixes shit up very well, and again, only ups the volume as the fight goes on. And he's looked, it didn't look great in his 2 losses, but he looked great in his 2 wins in the UFC. Again, getting finishes deep into the fight. Round 3 against Akiriko, who's typically a guy that doesn't fade, and round 2 against Punahale Soriano. Just smashed him, beat him up really well to the body. Kopylov is my pick in this fight. I think Kopylov is going to pull ahead. He's a guy I trust much more to win in round 3. Again, Claudio Ribeiro's got that round 5 win, and really he turned it up in round 4 against that guy. But it was with a lot of that Yoel Romero-isms, with him hanging back, reluctant to pull the trigger, and managing his energy because he knew he had 5 rounds to deal with. And credit to him, he got the finish deep in the fight. That's about as perfect as it goes. But I bring all that up to say he's not going to have the energy to fight 5 rounds in an actual fight. And Kopylov's going to bring a fight. I think if both guys are left standing, even by round 2, Kopylov certainly wins this fight. Now, Ribeiro did take down Joseph Holmes. If he was able to take down Roman Kopylov, I think he could find some success there because Kopylov is limited on the ground. But Claudio Ribeiro, I don't think he's got the work rate to sustain that type of game plan. He'll be able to get Kopylov down once, but even then, he's not Carl Roberson, let alone Albert Duraev. I think Kopylov generally keeps this one standing and beats him up down the stretch. And I've got him winning via second or third round finish. And I will absolutely be sprinkling prop bets on that. These guys are fighting at high altitude. Kopylov being a guy who's gotten so many finishes deep into the fight. And Claudio Ribeiro, again, despite the 5th round finish and whatever, I don't trust his cardio. I don't trust his body to fight hard for that long. So Kopylov, round 2, round 3, TKO. That's the prediction. That's the bet. I've bet on his money line at minus 230. I think there's value there. But the prop bets are going to be where it's at because Kopylov will turn it up if these guys are there in round 3. So that's that. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.